Well, someone might think that because we're currently living in the golden age of the internet, that we should be also living in the golden age of animation because it's so accessible to find tutorials, resources, and to see examples of animations online that new creators would pick up a pen and start drawing. But actually, it is totally the opposite case. I find that there are more new animators that were starting up this medium in the early 2010s than now in 2025. And this is so mysterious, intriguing, and honestly really sad. And I wanted to make a video essay about this today because this is something that I'm personally passionate about. If you've been on this channel before, then you'll know that we're actually a place for animators. We're creating a new space for animators called SketchTube, which is a social media dedicated for 2D animation. But today I want to talk about why this is happening, what has caused this to happen, and what we can do about this in the future. Let's start off by talking about the big culprit here, which I think we can all agree is our biggest friend and biggest ally and our biggest enemy in one, which is social media. Oh, social media. What a big, amazing concept to have, that we can share concepts and share art and share our thoughts and ideas, our photos to anyone across the world and connect instantly to family and friends anywhere, has turned from such a wholesome and great idea to like this awful thing that takes our attention away from our creativity and our present lives and moments and makes us cripplingly insecure. So what happened here? The old days of social media were that you posted to share. You posted because you wanted to connect, because you couldn't share, art in your real life with people that lived far away very easily. It felt authentic, it felt real, and it was. But what it has turned into is a money machine, essentially. Now, the goal of social media and pretty much any platform out there, save for a few exceptions, is to make as much money as possible. And what is money? It is your attention, right? We've all heard this before. Instagram and TikTok and etc. wants to keep you on the platform as long as possible because they gain ad money by you seeing the advertisements, because then you become more susceptible to purchasing what's being advertised. On that same coin, how do they keep you on the app as long as possible? By having content on the app that is highly addictive. What is highly addictive content? Content that is familiar and random, So trends, for example, trends with repeating audio that you consume once and then becomes in your brain, this is familiar, this is cool, your brain likes it, you keep on liking that same sort of content. So from a creator's standpoint, when you want to create something and it doesn't follow one of the trends, Instagram or TikTok or whatever doesn't recommend it because it doesn't follow that blueprint that they know is going to be highly addictive and keep other users on the platform as long as possible. It's all a business decision, but it highly inconveniences artists and creatives because you have to stick within this small, narrow, conforming box in order to be seen. Otherwise, you're going to be completely shadow banned if you just go off on your own thing. No one's going to see you, maybe the 3 tech DMs, but you're not going to actually see any real people, save for a few of the top people that are incredibly talented and creative, but it takes time to get to that point. And in order to have the ammo and the fuel and the motivation to get to the point of mastery and genius, what someone needs to do is to be supported and to feel seen and to get feedback. So we're just eliminating all of this by creating this algorithm that favors trendiness and what people call brain rot. I remember when I first got TikTok, it was so overwhelming that I wasn't able to actually make the decision to choose the video like it is on YouTube, which is why I think YouTube is my favorite social media platform to date, because you actually have that autonomous decision to say, I want to watch this video. For example, if you chose to watch this video, big hearts to you. But I really think that social media has gotten to the point where it makes all the decisions for us and it takes away our autonomy and it takes away our ability to think for ourselves. And a big part of being creative is sitting with our own thoughts in order to make sense of them and to create art with them. Another huge problem, which is linked to the first one, is that we aren't seeing any examples of accessible beginners animations. Any animations that you are recommended on your feed are highly polished and created by either industry professionals or incredibly talented self-made people. They're people that already have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or followers, etc., or it's highly viral. So you're only seeing the top of the top. And if you are only seeing the top of the top, and then you start to try to animate yourself. Like you're inspired enough by this creation to try to give it your own go, and you cannot do anything near that level. You're going to be so discouraged and you're never going to even want to continue. I really think that there's a great power in seeing examples of animations that are just slightly above the beginner's level, like an intermediate level animation, because that's going to inspire a beginner because it feels a lot more within their reach to try to do that. I made a whole video essay about why animators need their own social media explicitly for animation, which you can watch here. But I am actually creating a solution for that on this side of the internet, on this channel. What we are working on is SketchTube, which is the social media for animators. So it's essentially a social media platform which I'm currently developing as a software developer, where people can post their 2D animations and share them with their friends and like them, comment on them, and the algorithm is super simple. I am so passionate about the idea that artists should have their own platform because they don't belong with every other form of content out there. Without having this example of beginner and intermediate friendly content, no one's going to really feel inspired to do anything because they're only going to see examples of top of the top, and that is not good examples for beginners. It shows what they could do maybe 5 years from now, but not if they start picking up a pen tomorrow. It's not very accessible. So this is so important and needed, and I believe in this passion project with my whole heart, and I would love to see actual animators or aspiring animators' opinions because I'm making this for you. So make sure you join the Discord down below. Make sure, if you would like, to support the Patreon. There's also a beta tester program where you could see live on the server that I'm programming what specific features I want to implement and give me feedback firsthand. So consider joining the Patreon and the Discord. No pressure to join the Patreon though, because that's a paid program. The Discord is completely free and we have a great community going on there with tons of people so passionate about the idea already. Lastly, and I won't speak on this much because it is highly controversial, but AI and AI animations. AI animation has not reached the same level to which AI art has currently reached, but it's going to reach that level eventually. I mean, AI is growing at an exponential rate. The more people use it, the more feedback it has, and the better it's going to get. But the truth of the matter is that this discourages potential artists from ever getting started in the medium because they see that, look, this is a new skill that I want to do, but an AI can do it instantly so much better than I ever could, in their head thinking, ever could. So why should I even start? In my opinion, this is the opposite goal of what we should be having with AI. I think that AI, just like the internet and social media, can be either our best friend or our worst enemy, and it's up to us to decide what path does it take. I think that AI isn't inherently bad. I think that AI can be a wonderful tool for artists to use in accelerating their growth, but it should not be a replacement for creativity. Creativity is innately human, in my opinion, and I really don't even think that's an opinion. Creativity is not something that an AI can do because it doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have soul, and it doesn't have depth. So it's really silly to stop even trying and stop all these artists from like even ever venturing into the lens of animation and drawing because AI can do it better than them. AI can replicate other art better than they could maybe, but AI couldn't create its own art from its own imagination based on its own life experience, based on its own feelings, because it doesn't have any of that. So it's so sad, but I get where it's coming from. I understand. Luckily, I grew up in an age that didn't have AI, like most of the people watching this video probably. So I wasn't affected by that when I was a child, but I can understand that this will become a problem the more that life goes on. It is one of my personal morals and values that I don't like to leave everything in doom and dread. I am like a toxic optimist sometimes to a point where I need to pull myself down. So I don't want to just leave you with a negative feeling in your mouth. I'm actually doing something to change this. I don't think that AI or social media is inherently bad. And I think that artists should have a place to grow and should be inspired, especially with all of these amazing tools that we have at our disposal. I think that SketchTube, this idea that I have and that I'm creating and I'm developing, is really what is needed right now for animators, and I hope that you believe me too. So really create in the meantime while I'm still developing. Still create your animations, get started on that. I am actually thinking of creating a YouTube video, everything you need to know to get started in animation. I asked some people in my Discord community what are the softwares that they used when they were a beginner, what are their first animations, some tips and tricks for absolute beginners, like total ground zero. So I'll have that video coming out soon. Hopefully you'll watch that when that one's out. But in the meantime, Don't let any of these things discourage you. I know it's so much easier said than done, but seriously, no one can replace you. No one can replace your specific voice, and we need your voice. We need everyone's voices, because that's what the beauty of art and animation really is. It's sharing our stories and sharing our outlets of creativity. So I'm out of breath. Sometimes I feel like my thoughts talk faster than my voice can carry them, so whew. That was fun. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts. Please join the Discord server down below to share your concepts for SketchTube if you're excited about it. Send a little introduction, your work in progress, etc. And if you're interested in doing the Patreon, but absolutely no pressure, feel free. There's 2 tiers. Either you can just support and buy me a coffee, or you can become a beta tester, which I think would be really cool to have you guys on that program. So let me know. And also don't forget to join sketchtube.com to put your email address in and then be notified of my changes. That's everything, I think. I'm logging off now for this week's episode, and I'll see you guys next Thursday for some more animation content. So let's make a better future for animation together, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you next Thursday. Bye guys!